Creating minis for my Goblin Kitchen is a lot of fun. But then I thought, I have some lore, soon I will be finished with my minis, but there's a little problem. There is no kitchen in the Goblin Kitchen project. What a small detail to miss. I guess I'll just have to make some props with the goblins. In this video, I'll show you how I make props for my characters. I'll start with the concept and maybe after that we'll see some 3D. We'll see how far I'm going to get in this video, but nonetheless it will be a good start. I better cook something up before the goblins realize they don't have a place to make dishes and do silly stuff. Well, we better get started. When making projects, I take some time before I start with the concepts. At that time, I'm thinking what components would be needed for the project. Also, a little research on Pinterest doesn't hurt. Especially now that they let you filter out the AI slop, I'm using Pinterest again. Some poopy generated stuff are slipping out from time to time, but it's so much better. When I'm mentally ready, it's time for me to open up Procreate in my case and start making some props. I wanted to start simple, so I don't get overwhelmed from the beginning. Pans and ladles hanging from a wooden stand seemed like a good idea to start. The cooking utensils needed to be crooked and angular. In this world, if the goblins didn't steal the utensils and made them, they are definitely with edges. They believe it's better that way. Although they would never throw a perfectly stolen utensil just because it's round. Nails in absolutely unnecessary places is a fun concept to do, so I'm doing it. Silly. When I finished this concept, I was already warmed up and I jumped to the oven. Not literally. The oven would work with fire. Stone is a perfectly good material to use here. If you see me changing the shape of the oven door to a half round one, well, you know the answer to how come it's round. A chimney would be needed for this oven, so I put one. I think strange faces made like masks are a good detail to add for this kitchen, because the Master Chef Grum is more than he appears. Strange decorations or actual magic items? Who knows? I'll let you speculate and be mysterious. Some hooks for hanging and we are good to go. I thought it would be fun to make a dirty pile with dishes on a little table, sitting on top of each other. This would give more flavor to the scene in the end. It's not a must in a Goblin kitchen, but it's nice to have a kitchen sink. This brings us to the next concept I did, a Goblin kitchen sink. Going with a face, but more angular because they couldn't steal one. This kitchen would not be complete without a pickle barrel. Without pickles, there's no pickle soup after all. A sack of potatoes and a pitcher with seeds would look nice next to the pickles. How could I forget that they need a table to slice and dice stuff? Woods for the legs and a stone for the top would be a good combination. The top needs to be durable because goblins are not that gentle. I decided to throw a dead fish on top of the table for some interest, and we have a kitchen table now. Lastly, I wanted to make a place for the master chef. Some place where he keeps his cookbook, another mysterious face, spare ladles, because he often used them as weapons, or just to throw at a bad customer. The cabinet below is magically locked. Maybe something important is in there. Certainly Grum doesn't want you to peek in there without permission. And with that, the first batch with prop concepts is done. I think it's a decent start. Do I have some time to create the first prop with the pans and ladles? Sure, let's give it a go. When I start a sculpt, I always start with simple shapes, low poly count, and go as far as I could with as few polygons as possible. Sometimes I don't have the patience and I bring up the poly count up, but if you can learn not to do it, that would be nice. In this case, the shapes are relatively simple, so I followed my own advice. Cool. I think this is enough for now. I'll 3D model all of the other props in the near future, and I'll definitely print them on an FDM printer. In the end of this project, I'll not only have the goblins and pigs, but I'll have the whole kitchen. This makes me so excited. I hope you feel the same too, because I'll make everything available for you to buy and print yourself, so you could use them in an RPG campaign or just paint them. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, you might like my other videos. There are so many projects I want to do and many things I want to learn. That's all for now. See you later, cowboy. Bye!